Welcome back into Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord, baby. I mean, the roller coaster ride continues, baby. Except, for the first time, at least we went down, down. It was down, up, down, up, down, down. Hey, this was the steep drop. This was the big drop that we've all been waiting for. And wow, was it big. I didn't think it could get worse than 30-0, but what I saw on Sunday, I don't know about you. It felt worse because you're at home, you're coming off a loss. You got your stinker out of the way. Everyone usually has one stinker. You can't have two, not against teams that are the Panthers and the Dolphins, especially at home, especially coming off a loss. And just the way it looked it didn't look like anybody wanted to be there. And I want to ask you a question about this. Because how bad Kirk Cousins looked. I thought he was all those reports and rumors that were kind of like, oh, screw the trade thing. Like, he's cooked. Like, the rest of the league knows it. Do you think, like, once they found out Drake London out, all these defensive pieces, Kirk Cousins starting, the team who knew what Kirk Cousins was at this point was kind of like, yeah, we don't got much of a chance in this one. And maybe that's a reason for the effort. Still not excusable. But when you watch that game, the lack of effort, the lack of anything, and what do we always say? Whoever hits harder, whoever wins the damn game.
How did the Dolphins hit harder?
Yeah. I mean, they came out and looked like a machine on both sides of the ball. I mean, they were pancaking people. They were blitzing. They were hitting hard. They were talking shit. I mean, like, this was a team that
they were a walking corpse.
We
just gave them new life.
And
honestly, Dolphins fans are probably pissed the fuck off because they're like, you bums, you Falcons bums. Now Greer's going to keep his job a little longer. McDaniel's going to keep his job a little longer. Ross is up there in the owner's box thinking, maybe these guys can get it together. The fact of the matter is the Dolphins suck. Mike McDaniel's not a good head coach. Tua is a well below average quarterback, and Chris Greer should not be an NFL GM. Hasn't been an NFL GM for a long time. And it just so happens that they played the right team on the right week, the get right Falcons. That's who we are. That's who we've been. And this is by far worse than the Panthers game because in the moment, the Panthers game stung a lot, 30-0. But if you watch that game, it wasn't nearly as bad like defensively. Like the Falcons defense still played pretty decently against that Panthers offense. It just so happened they were always in plus field position. They had some bad luck in terms of penalties, whatever it might be. They didn't play an overall this Dolphins team. Oh, and by the way, other than this Bills game, the Panthers look like a halfway decent football team. Like they actually do. Other than this past week against the Bills, who are one of the best teams in the NFL, who we so consequently beat. But the Dolphins are a walking corpse. They walked into Atlanta dead. They were begging us to put them out of their misery. You had a head coach who's calling out the quarterback calling out the head coach and the rest of the roster. He showed up with one eye. I don't know if you were back yet for that. He showed up to the field with some sort of infection and his eye was swollen shut. And this motherfucker goes out and just dices us up. I don't know how you feel worse about the Panthers loss than this one because we got dominated in every single facet. The only facet you could probably hang your hat on is dumbass Romo made a kick finally. I mean, that was it.
There wasn't a single positive takeaway. Like not one.
No.
Like JD Bertrand.
I could give you a silver lining. I've been thinking about it a lot.
I got to hear this.
It's all right. Come with me. Everybody's worried about Michael Penix is this, Michael Penix is that. They're ignoring the fact that he's, half a game into his entire career or half a season into his entire career. Kirk Cousins might be cooked. He might be completely washed, but at least we know that Zach Robinson is a bona fide scrub. Like, we can't get any read on Michael Penix Jr., whether he's good or bad. I'm not saying he's good, but I'm definitely telling you we don't know yet. And this game proved it, that at least we know for a fact that we don't know.
Well, let's get into that. So, Zach Robinson, I don't know what his future's like with this team. I have to think there are serious conversations behind closed doors of removing him. Now, it's not easy to go in there. I don't know who the hell they would even turn. We don't.
Well, you can't fire somebody. Like, you don't quit a job without having another job lined up.
Yeah.
You don't fire an OC without having somebody else in your back pocket. And I don't know if we even have that guy.
No, like, I think your best option would be like maybe having a beat the Dolphins and then taking Mike McDaniel off the street right after he got
like
fired.
Literally,
that would probably have been like your best option.
Yates is probably your best option,
but I don't know.
He's never called plays.
No, yeah, I mean, you're talking about guys that might be part of the reason that Zach Robinson is so horrendous. So there's nobody that you can really replace him with. But I thought the game plan either the Falcons know at their heart of hearts, after watching Kirk Cousins in practice, that he is the world's shittiest quarterback and 100% cooked, because they showed zero faith in him. I mean, zero. It was run. All right, Kirk, dump it off here. Oh, I mean, he went 21 for 30.
Tight end screen.
Yeah.
It was run, tight end screen.
5.6 yards per attempt. I mean, just an embarrassing.
Not per reception.
No, and they didn't even try to, toss the ball down the field or anything
did
like
once,
that.
and he sailed it over Darnell Mooney's
I mean,
head.
the deep ball was so bad. I mean,
so
it was so bad. I mean, he looked horrendous, and it just made you. Why the fuck was he even on the roster? I cannot believe, in hindsight, they paid this guy another $10 million to be the backup quarterback. And they pumped out their chest to the media in this charade, like they had confidence in this guy, when clearly they didn't, because not only did he look like shit out there, they didn't trust him one iota.
Yeah.
We were running halfback dives at the goal, when we get pinned back, they didn't even try to let him pass. They're like, nah, it's okay that we're down 14. We're still not letting Kirk Cousins throw the ball. There were no first down throws. There were no aggressive throws down the field on early downs. The Dolphins were stacking the box knowing that we were going to run and knowing they had no chance. And they knew that from the opening whistle, which tells me those murmurs from around the league had gotten out to people that Kirk Cousins was a goddamn corpse out there, and he looked every bit of a corpse. And yet we continued with this charade, paid him more money, kept him as the backup, knowing what they always should have known. And it just goes back to that big thing that we've talked about the Falcons since we started this whole show, through multiple coaching shirts, through the Rich McKay, optics. They would rather lie to your goddamn face than make their team better. They would. They would rather try to trick you into thinking that Kirk Cousins had a chance of being, and they tricked me. Yeah. I legitimately thought this Falcons offense with Kirk, I was like, that's not going to be that big of a deal. Like Michael Penix struggled, no, he is horrendous. If Michael Penix can't play, they need to search for a new quarterback. Kirk Cousins cannot start another game for this team. He sucks. And it just pisses you off, but it goes back to that whole optics thing, that it's like they'd rather just lie to your face to cover up their own shit. I don't think
they're that smart. I think they're just making it up as they go. And sometimes, Jack Sparrow can do it and look good while he's making it up we're the opposite of Captain Jack Sparrow. We make it up as we go and just end up with pie on our face consistently. Just, and I think back to that Bills game, and a bunch of people were telling us, calm down, let's wait and see. And some of those people might be taking a victory lap, but I think that's the perfect instance of why I got so excited after that Bills. Because you should get excited. We only have so many of those moments left in our life as a Falcons fan. It's never going to go away with Blank at the helm of this team, ever. We will never be consistent winners with Arthur Blank as the owner. He's a good man. He's a philanthropist. He's done a lot for this city. I genuinely believe he wants to win. I do not think he's some idiot who is, constantly handicapping his team like some other owners out there. He will empty his bank account to make sure this team has everything possible. But that doesn't matter anymore. We are going on 8 years of mediocrity in a league that is built to vault you back from the bottom. This isn't the NBA where you can be the worst team every single year and never get the first overall pick. The NFL is built for parity, and we still refuse to be good. I am going to enjoy every single motherfucking win. every single time, especially over a really good team. I don't care how, hollow it is or how fake it is. I'm going to cheer because this right here, it's around the corner, no matter what. And I think we didn't talk about it last week because you were out of town, but I want to also bring up the fact of bringing it back to, in-house what we can do because Blank's not leaving. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Let's just try and fix what we've got. Z-Rob, not working. Raheem Morris, we said it even after the Bills game or even after the 49ers loss, where it's like, he's just probably not it. We have a large enough sample size, and maybe he didn't have the help in Tampa Bay that he might have needed, but we have a large enough sample size to know now this guy isn't it. He's already made a fool of us, everybody, in the first year with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr., botching that whole thing, hiring Jimmy Lake. Credit to him for fixing the situation. Now he's got to do the same exact thing on the offensive side of the ball. But two things that are never going to change with this guy. Last week, when we were playing the 49ers in prime time and we had 10 guys on the field, they knew it and didn't call a timeout. You can find the video. He said it on 92.9 The Game. Can't call a timeout there. Mind you, we were only down by 3. That was third down. If we force a fourth down, it's a one-score game. He says, we can't call a timeout there. Got to give Mike 2 timeouts to go down and try and win the game. Motherfucker, having 11 guys on the field is the best chance in that moment to win the game. And that's one thing. Everything else that's, being talked about this past week against the Dolphins that nobody else is talking about, we need to talk about one of the worst challenges I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know this is nitpicking, and I know that, it pales into comparison of the overall bigger problems. This moron challenged the most obvious first down I've ever seen in my entire life. Nobody in the booth was like, hey, Raheem. It was clearly a first down, man. Don't waste that timeout. Ended up not making a difference whatsoever. But this guy, when somebody tells you who they are, just listen. And we're not there. And I will say this, and I'll even backtrack a little bit. There's no point in firing anybody right now because who's going to replace Z-Rob? Who's going to call plays? If you fire Raheem, who's going to take over him? Ulbrich. We already know what he is. He did it last year in New York. We're talking about now. We just got to develop Michael Penix Jr. as quickly as possible in hopes that, because this will be year 3 next year. If we replace Raheem and Z-Rob and all these cats, now we're talking about year 3, and we're on that Bears cycle. We're on that Jets cycle. We're on that, the teams that are constantly churning over regimes, giving their young quarterbacks absolutely no consistency whatsoever. We're headed for that. I don't want it to be true, but we are headed for that. Raheem Morris is clearly not the guy. We are way more talented than the Miami Dolphins, way more talented. And now that doesn't always mean you win, but it certainly means you don't lose by 30 motherfucking points.
At home.
I mean,
he got out-coached in every single way by Mike McDaniel. Every single way. I mean, he gets out-coached every single week. Every single week this guy gets out-coached.
And he goes, we just didn't get up. That's a coaching issue. How do you not get your guys up?
But I do want to say, as much as you can shit on Raheem, and I agree with everything you just said. I mean, just because it didn't matter that he made that challenge because the game turned out to be such a blowout. At the time, it wasn't a blowout. That could have been the timeout that you're talking about, later in the game that you're trying to go down the field that you wasted because you made it a stupid challenge. And I'm sure if we went back and looked at that 49ers play, we probably did some procedural bullshit that we had to call a timeout, which is why we only had 2 timeouts. It all goes back to coaching. So I completely agree. He's not really doing much. He's not calling plays. He's not your defensive coordinator. When Jimmy Lake was here and we were struggling, yes, he took over and made things better, but why did it take 12 weeks to do that? Because if he was a real head coach, he would have recognized it way earlier, and maybe we end up making the postseason. He's not the offensive guy that's ever going to call plays. He's your CEO head coach, where his only job is making sure that all the little things are taken care of, and all the little things we fuck up every single week. So I'm totally with you.
Motivating guys.
But wait, I do want to say, in terms of the players, where the fuck is the energy just from them? Like, we can shit on everyone, but like Raheem Moore, like, how much are the rah-rah speeches and all that bullshit? We talk about it all the time, really going to get you. If you can't show up on Sunday with an opportunity in front of your home crowd to get us to 4-3, to further our playoff pursuit, to further your pockets, like, what are we doing? Like, it's some onus. Like, where these players sit here and talk all this bullshit just as much as they do Raheem Morris does. They basically regurgitate the same lines, whether they win or whether they lose. Credit to the Falcons PR team. They're the best in the business, the only good aspect of this organization. But it sucks for us because we'd like to hear something like, why the fuck can you not get up and play on Sundays against a bad team? Like, you should be relishing this opportunity.
This is also week 7.
Like, we're right in the middle. Everything is right in front of us. Like, why the hell are the players? Well, like,
or week 8.
There shouldn't be that much of a motivational factor for getting up and playing the game of football for money in front of fans that want to see you win. Like, we can sit here and say that's the coaching issue, but it's like, why the fuck does it, why does it keep happening? Like, why do the players, is it something in all this? I mean, how often do we hear the culture bullshit? We're building this culture, but you can't show up on Sundays and play? Like, what does Raheem Morris really have to say? The fact that you get to play in the NFL on Sunday for money in front of a home crowd should be all the motivation you need. And if not, especially with all these culture picks that we got. I mean, we got the best culture in the world, according to Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris. Like, we can sit here and bitch about the coaching staff, but at a certain point, it's like, why are the players not showing up and wanting to play? It blows my mind that they could sit there and let a 1-6 football team punch them in the mouth in front of their home crowd. Like, I just don't see where, like, to me, it almost seems like there's a deeper issue than just like, oh, it's the head. Like, why? Like, how do you let a division rival punch you in the mouth like they did a few weeks ago?
Fiery Branch is just cushy, comfy. I mean, it's just cushy, comfy organization.
I guess.
Nobody has takes any accountability whatsoever. I mean, you got guys who are getting promoted after some of the worst losses and the worst seasons in franchise history. I mean, that's just how this, if you are close, if you have been there a long time, if you are nice to Arthur Blank or any of the C-suite executives, you're good. You really don't have to do anything extraordinary. If you do your job 60% of the time, you're going to get a paycheck every single week. I mean, that's just there is an exception of mediocrity in this organization. It's that simple. I mean, you hear all the time about the great ones, the attention to detail. I mean, I keep seeing all these clips of Nick Saban coming up to the podium after a win talking about, I'm not happy. We've got this, and this to figure out. And he's not saying some bullshit like, yeah, I got to find a way to make us better. We got to find a way to get better on third down. Yeah, we got to find. Talking about exactly what is the issue. And that he is not, that is what I want. I just want some level of attention to detail. And if I have to see Raheem Morris one more motherfucking time, I'm going to see it, maybe not this week or next week because we're in New England and then in Germany, Raheem Morris smacking his gum, looking up at that scoreboard or that halo in the stadium, I'm going to lose my mind. This isn't even like, a nitpicking thing. This is like hey, get on the headset, talk to somebody, do something other than this. It's mind-boggling how this guy was touted as this high-energy players coach who can connect to anybody, and all he does, truly, all he does on game day is sit there with his fingers or with his hands crossed, throw the occasional bad challenge flag, call stupid timeouts or not call timeouts when he's supposed to. And that is it. There's no fiery. And listen, I'm not the kind of guy who's like, you need to yell at a player or yell at a head coach or an assistant coach. These are grown men. Everybody obviously knows that they're working hard. But like at a certain point, I don't know. I would just like to see somebody like Mike Vrabel on the sideline chewing someone's ass out. I'm sick of the like, come on, buddy. You did good.
Well, and I think that was
it's just the cushiness of Atlanta.
And I think that is who Raheem Morris is. Unfortunately,
can't be a head coach.
A lot of the stuff that you heard about Raheem Morris that he was lauded for, everybody likes him, like all this. It's because he's a good dude. It's because he's a friendly dude. The players love him because, maybe he doesn't hold you as accountable as he should do, or maybe he is, or maybe he's a good coach in some areas. But at the end of the day, it does feel like there's too much of a buddy feel with him at the helm, like too much of a buddy feel and not enough accountability, not enough uncomfortable conversations being had on a Sunday to Sunday. But Alex, I've got to ask you, when you're watching this game, I'm actually ironically in the Miami airport watching this game with no Dolphins fans watching the game because they don't exist. They've checked out of the season. And by the way, some of the Dolphins comments that I got, very, very funny. Just being like, dude, what the fuck? That we actually looked good. How the hell did that happen? It's just like, dude, I'm embarrassed for you guys. I don't think you guys realize how bad we've looked every single week.
They got walloped by the Browns the
31-6.
Dylan Gabriel, who looks like he's never going to play another down in the NFL.
Tua threw for 100 yards and 3 picks. That's what happened the week before. He came to Atlanta and
they
shredded
have
us
the
for
worst
4 touchdowns.
rushing defense in the NFL.
And we had 45 yards rushing. That's where you get me with the effort thing, because it's like, yeah, all the injuries happen. Yeah, you have Kirk Cousins, but we still have this great offensive line that's played mostly great this entire season, and the best running back and their best rushing attack.
We don't have an identity. We used to think that you could hang your hat on the running game. We cannot. Week in, week out, we cannot. It might look good this week against the Patriots.
Well, Michael Penix, but I think.
But the fact of the matter is we have no identity. We have nothing that we can hang our hats on consistently. It's not the run defense. It's not the pass defense anymore. It's not our pass rush anymore. It's nothing. We cannot hang our hats on absolutely anything. At the very least, if we're not fast or skilled or smart, let's be motherfucking dogs. Let's be tough. Let's get some penalties. Let's put the crown of our helmet on somebody's chin. We are nothing. We're soft. We're slow. We're dumb. What the fuck?
I got to ask you one question. You're watching this game on Sunday. What pissed you off more? Raheem Morris, the gum chewing, arms crossed?
Nothing.
Or I mean, how many times did I have to see Kirk Cousins go like this, though? Oh, no, we're he just throw he trots back like an old crippled man.
He's so
he throws it 60 yards over the receiver's head, who's throwing a curl route, the slowest pass you've ever seen, the only reason it wasn't picked. And then he's like, oh no.
Do your best. What is he saying in that moment? He goes, gosh darn it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Gosh darn it.
It's so bad. It was so bad. I mean, I don't know.
And then how are they going to actually expect us fans to go and spend our hard-earned coin on seeing that product on a Sunday in Atlanta?
The whole thing, what they have going on at Mercedes-Benz Stadium only adds to the frustration I have with the entire organization. You're literally fucking out there asking for private seat licenses, and you've got the worst product on the field. You are the goddamn Cleveland Browns. You are the goddamn Miami Dolphins. That is who we are. The Super Bowl days are so far gone in the rearview mirror. The Matt Ryan days are so far gone. I feel like you don't really realize you are one of those teams because you're fans of one of those teams and you're living and dying and the highs feel so high while everyone else is laughing at you. Friends in my group text, I don't have a ton of Falcons friends. We went to LSU. A lot of people are Saints fans, so they're always going to be laughing and prodding at us. And, we go out there and beat the Bills and we're excited. And they're like, yeah, but it's fucking coming next. And we're like, no, it's not, but it fucking is. It fucking is every single time. This shit is coming next because we are one of those horrendous, the most horrendous organizations in all of sports, not just the NFL, in all of sports. We're no better than the Cleveland Browns.
No, it's that saying, when you're in the room and, if you don't think, you're the dumbest person, you're the dumbest person or whatever.
Or if you can't point out the dumbest person.
You're the dumbest person. Yeah. We are the dumbest people in the room. But the fact of the matter is I heard people on the radio today talking about it was on 92.9 and some of those fucking jerk offs talking about, when it really does rain, it pours, because I can give you some silver linings. This roster is still playoff caliber. That's a fucking fact, because I've seen them play at their best. It's just consistently being that best. I am once again saying that Terry Fontenot should be clean in all of this. And I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be saying that. Because this is a roster that any coach, the 12 best coach, just imagine what Kevin O'Connell could do with this roster. Or Sean McVay. You don't think, let's just like kind of try and give some perspective. And the people who are talking about the roster sucks, Michael Penix Jr. sucks, yada, yada, yada. Go pick out some of the best coaches in the NFL and then try and talk like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, like Mike McDonald in Seattle, Jim Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel. Those guys would have us squarely over 500.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, when we talked about the lack of options or so, in hindsight, I mean, you do think, I mean, Mike McDonald was never really seemingly seriously considered.
We interviewed all of the guys I just mentioned. The fact of the matter is they didn't want to be here.
There's
no way.
Mike Vrabel?
There's no way.
He would if he wanted to be in Cleveland.
Passed over Vrabel for Raheem Morris some odd years ago, I'll seriously consider becoming a full-time Daniel Jones fan. I just cannot stomach.
And by the way, guys, I know
these next 2 weeks we're playing the best two quarterbacks in the NFL.
Drake
May and DJ are 1 and 2.
You better hope Michael Penix is healthy because you have zero shot with Kirk Cousins under center. Yeah. Zero chance with Kirk Cousins under center.
Especially in cold weather. I mean, that guy can't throw a 60-mile-an-hour fastball.
Zero. Right. And, you know, it's find out about the entire team time.
Well, we know exactly who to count on when we're counted out. It's these dumbass Falcons. We'll go out and beat the Patriots.
Yeah. But at some point, those trends do end. And, I was confident against the Bills. I loved the spot.
Me too.
I loved coming off the bye. I believe that this offense is so much better than what we saw on Sunday with Michael Penix Jr., so I'm not going to totally say they can't bounce back and kind of look revitalized going up into New England. But listen, you're now on the road. You're on a team that's on one of those NFL heaters that when you get on, they are really, really tough to beat, especially in their own building. And guess what, guys? For the 137th game in a row, we're going to be at a severe coaching disadvantage. Yeah. I mean, Mike Vrabel is so much better than Raheem Morris. It's not even funny. So I agree. I don't know exactly what happened with the
no way.
He wasn't hired. He was in Cleveland.
I think he was just biding his time. There's just absolutely no way. I refuse to believe that. I don't think Jim Harbaugh wanted to be here.
I don't think Jim Harbaugh,
I don't think Ben Johnson wanted to be
Ben Johnson wasn't taking interviews.
I don't even think, I don't even think Mike McDonald wanted to be here. I think Raheem Morris was not our first choice. I mean, I think it seriously came down to Belichick and Raheem outside of, maybe a couple other cats that, were never even really in consideration. You don't think
Robert Kraft, who was in the ear of Arthur Blank being buddy, didn't say, oh, you don't want Belichick. Oh, you also don't want Vrabel either. And knowing that Mike Vrabel was going to be his next head football coach.
I'd love for that to come out.
To act as if the Falcons couldn't be dumb enough to pass over a good coach for a bad coach. It's actually exactly, I think I can't go back and say what we predicted in the time, but I guarantee you we were saying there was some way they were going to screw it up. And, through 25 games of this tenure, it certainly looks like they have screwed it up. But guess what, guys? We've been here for the last 4 years. We're not gonna be like the Panthers and go fucking take our fucking quit, even though some of you might want it and hang up and say, you know what? The team's bad. No, we're gonna come up here and we're gonna bitch. Or we're gonna cheer.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
I'm going to give it to you passionately either way.
So hopefully we get good Falcons.
I guarantee you I'll be I'm telling you, this is one of those, and we'll talk about it later in the week. There's no way we should win this game. Everybody's going to be betting New England. That's our time to shine, boys. That's when we're at our best.
And fuck the Patriots.
Fuck the Patriots. We still hate them.
Fuck the Patriots. If you like what you saw, good or bad, make sure to hit the subscribe button.